you understand I'm always going to protect you no matter what, right? You understand that everything that I do is because of you, right? So these are not toys, and you're not going to be playing with it, right? No, it's not a yes. It's supposed to be a no. Listen, whatever. Hey guys, welcome back. While I keep teaching this guy the right kind of rules, that these are not toys, I did want to talk to you guys about a topic of home defense. What's right, what platform, what manual of arms is the right one for you. Thank you guys for joining me on another video. Those of you that are finding this for the first time, thank you guys. For those of you that are returning, I appreciate all of you. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. All right, so like the title of the video, you know, what platform or what kind of firearm is right for you for home defense? I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer for this. I think this is really what your intended purpose is and how do you plan on using this to defend your home and your loved ones. But we will talk a little bit about a couple of things here. I do have a sample size of 5 here. You know, there's obviously more things in my collection. And a couple of things that I'm probably not going to talk about on this one, but I will mention it. But I did want to talk to you guys. So, you know, if you just got into firearms, or you've had firearms for quite a while, or you have one firearm, or you have a collection of firearms, right? You obviously bought it for a purpose and an intent. I know I got mine for protection of my family, my home, and my loved ones. I go to train for those people. You know, all joking aside, yeah, we're talking about the child, but really, you know, my daughter, my sons, my wife, and anyone that is within my family, that's why I choose to have a firearm for me. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about, you know, what's right. What do you feel you should be able to protect your home with? We can talk about calibers. We can talk about different type styles. But, you know, I'm going to just talk about in general. You know, let's start off with something, you know, that I kind of have here on the table. This is the Ruger LCP Chamberlain 380. This is LCP2. All of these firearms are clear, so we are dealing with safe firearms. So is this something you want to have for the home? You know, like I said, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I'll tell you some of the things that kind of are pros and cons. You can decide whether they're pros and cons. You know, something like this, you know, does have a laser equipped for it. You know, especially if it's something that happens in the night, that's a plus for it. It's very small, very discreet, doesn't have a lot of recoil management, to say the least. 380 is on the smaller end of the calibers. Not a lot of penetration on this as far as going beyond the wall or anything in case the self-defense scenario comes in. It's small, right? Small and small package. Good manual of arms, rack your slide, pull the trigger, align with your sights, and that's it. You know, pluses are that it's small. Pluses are that, you know, you don't have a lot of recoil management. A little bit of a downside is, you know, the round capacity. This usually only has 6 rounds. I can have a mag in there that's 7 or 8 rounds, right? That's an option. Second option here, just recently added, is a revolver. A lot of people end up having a revolver at home. You know, it's old school. Manual of arms, very simple. You load your rounds, you close your cylinder, you have your trigger, point, shoot. You don't need to have power to rack a slide. You don't need to have, you know, too much going on. No real lots of mechanical moving parts. Just point and shoot. There is a little bit more recoil on this. This is a 38 special, so that's something that can be a little bit harder. It is a long trigger pull, you know, 10-pound trigger pull. I don't really know exactly, but it's all reliable. Not a lot of things that can go wrong. Again, similar to the LCP, round capacity. As you guys can see there, I got 5. So is that an option that's a little bit tricky? You know, if you wanted to defend someone, is one round going to be enough? Is one round going to be enough to scare somebody away? Or do you want to put these rounds on target? Reloading this is a little bit tough. You got to push them out, reload them one by one. If you have quick loaders, that makes it a little simple. You push them in, push it out, and you're back in the fight. That's an option. Then we go to your regular striker fire guns or automatic guns. Not automatic like automatic, but
Stop it. Get some help.
I don't know what I'm saying. But, you know, here we have on the table, it's a representation of a semi-automatic gun, right? We have the Glock 22. This is chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson. It is clear, it's empty, but this is one of those bigger calibers. It's a full-size gun. If you were to put this in a home defense scenario, you know, you have this at your nightstand, you got about 15, or if you have longer mags, more capacity down. A little bit more felt recoil, but, you know, more stopping power. This particular firearm does come with night sights. It's a very reliable gun. If you know, and you're practicing with your firearm, you know, if you get this in hand and shooting down, will this do the stopping that's necessary for that defense scenario? Like I said, you got about 15 rounds. It's a big gun. The fact that it's a little heavier does help with the recoil, but it is a larger caliber, so there is a little bit more felt recoil. There's some real pluses to it. I mean, especially a gun like this Glock, very reliable, won't jam up. You know, if you don't practice with it and you don't know how to shoot with it, it can jam like any other firearm. But, you know, it's something that you can definitely bet your life on that can help you in that need. Manual of arms, like most semi-automatics, you know, you pull your slide, load the chamber, align sights, and have at it. And as many rounds as the mag that you try to fit in here, it'll take. That's another option. Then we go a little bit further, you know, and a couple of things that we didn't talk about here is shotguns. I do have a shotgun, but I didn't want to bring it out. I didn't have too much room here. But shotguns, these are, you know, burglar deters. In this particular little case right here, I have two different loads. I have double 9, and I got some slugs, as you guys can see there, and some bird. Now, is a burglar gonna find that the bird shot is something that he wants to deal with? Maybe you're gonna piss him off, but that slug will definitely get somebody's attention. And the 9, the double lot, it for sure will have some stopping power. Will it penetrate a wall? Absolutely, especially if you're in close quarters. Depending how your house is built, it can over-penetrate, but it's a really, really good home defense. Manual of arms, again, if you have a pump shotgun, there is that, or if you have a semi-automatic. I didn't have one here, again, like for reference. But that is an option, right? A lot of people do think, oh, just a pump shotgun. The noise itself is going to scare them away. Please do not think that. Don't bet your life on a noise. Bet your life on the fact that you have to protect yourself. And if you have to use these firearms, you should know exactly what they're going to be doing. Then we have something like this, something smaller. So this is an AR, but this is an AR-9, smaller platform. Very good for close quarter combats. Small, compact. It can get a little bit bigger. You have a red dot, you have regular sights, you have a weapons mount light, so you can identify a target, a threat, and you can make sure that whatever you're pointing at, you aim to destroy. You know, you don't want to be picking up somebody, one of your family members, a pet or something that you do not want to harm. But you know, when it comes to AR platforms, load up a mag, rack, load, point, identify, and then go to town. This is very good because you can have it in 9mm, you can have it in 45, hell, you can have it in 22, or, you know, rifle rounds. This particular one, I have it in 9, so it takes a lot of the same mags that I would have for like the Glock, right? If I had a 9mm, I can load it up and it can put it in there. This is obviously a 40 Smith & Wesson mag, but if I have the 9mm, it can go in there. Or if I'm running a Glock that's 9mm, you know, interchange with that. This is really good because you can, you know, go around corners pretty easy. It's very simple, and the best part about these that none of these kind of talk about, handguns, which isn't a bad thing, but there's more points of contact. You have usually one hand here, something on your shoulder or your cheek, and you have your grip, so it's 3 points of contact. So mitigating recoil is much, much easier. 9mm doesn't have a lot of recoil to begin with, but now having 3 points of contact will definitely allow you to control it a little bit better. And then lastly, for reference that I had here is, you know, the full AR platform. So here is my 16-inch Radical AR-15. This is chambered in 5.56 and 223. As you guys can see here, I have a magnifier if I wanted to shoot out longer ranges, or if I wanted to be in close quarter combats, I have a regular red dot I can acquire. I also have a light, so I can acquire a target or a sight. And the other manual of arms is pretty much the same thing. I do have points of contact. I have a sling that I can run, so I can put it on me. And if I wasn't using it, I can put it off to my side. If I had another firearm, I can still have it at my side. I can adjust this closer or further to my body and change that around. Now, what's the plus on this is typically on my AR platforms, we have a lot more rounds. We have mags that hold 30 rounds, 20 rounds, 15 rounds, whatever you want. Depending on the mag, you can keep that on there. A lot more velocity, more damage. With that though comes over penetration. Something like this inside a home, very scary that if you don't hit the target you're going through not one layer of wall, maybe 2-3 layers. So you gotta know what you're doing, especially if you're gonna be using that indoors. But the stopping power on that is really, really, really good. You know, is that the one for you? We talked a couple here, right? And like I said, I don't think none of these are right or wrong. I think it's what your preference is in. Me particularly, you know, I kind of always think about my family and have different scenarios. I've had my wife, my daughter, train on the different firearms. You know, if I put a firearm in this place in the house or that place in the house, so they know what to do. So they're able to know, you know, if they're gonna rack the firearm, how they're gonna acquire their target. There's firearms that I have in my home that have a weapons mounted light, so they can identify a target as well. What to do, how to be able to load something like this if this is something in the closet or in my room, how to get it ready to go, you know, how to identify when your firearm is ready to get into action if it's needed. Or even something small, you know, is this something that's laying around? It might be in my office or it might be somewhere there they can get it to in the safe. These are all options. So I did want to talk a little bit about that. Let me know, what are you choosing for your home defense? How are you protecting those that you love and your family and ultimately your home? I like to see, you know, whether we share the same factors that go into it. And like I tell you, I change these around, not because I have more options, is I want to know what's right. You know, what is the easiest thing for my family to protect themselves as well as myself? Sometimes I might not be home and something might happen here. What are they going to be able to use? What tool will be at their disposal to get the job done? But yeah, hopefully you found some of this information good. And if you did, please share it and hit the like button. We're going to continue to do videos like this in the upcoming months. Let me know what kind of topic you want to talk about. We are closer to 3,000, so I appreciate each and every one of you. And until the next time, I'll see you guys later.